So this is going to be the first video of 2023, and you're going to see some ugly stuff, so be ready. So we have pretty much just let this yard go at this point. In fall of 2022, I pretty much just gave up on the yard at that point, and we really didn't do the amount of cleanup or cover up of a number of our things, and it's kind of starting to show. I have not been outside really at all because it's been so cold, and we keep getting little bursts of warmth, but I'm usually busy doing other stuff inside the house or other projects, so I don't really come out here and take the time to do anything. So bad on me. But this is a no judgment zone, okay? No judgment. I don't want those comments blowing up with nastiness. I wanted to go around the yard today and talk to you guys about some of the changes that are going to be coming up this year, and hopefully by putting it in video, I'll be keeping myself accountable for those so that we can get them done. Now obviously budget plays into a number of things when it comes into this, so I can't promise that everything is going to get done, but these are what are on my top of my list this year. So get ready, because this is going to be an ugly tour. So no judgment. Don't leave anything in the comments because I don't want to hear it. I'm already aware. So at the end of 2022, we were burnt out, and frankly, I did not feel like doing anything more. I wanted to drop everything and go inside and hibernate for the winter, and that is exactly what I did. And the backyard is showing for that. We left out a number of things that we normally would have never. We didn't cover up our patio furniture. We just kind of gave up. And now that I look out the window in anticipation of spring, I realize just how ugly our yard is looking. So we need to get out here and start cleaning up, but that's not what this video is about. Today I wanted to take you around and show you some of the projects that we plan to accomplish this year, and hopefully by putting it in video, holding myself accountable to get these things done. Now of course budget does play into effect on all of this, so some of the things may or may not get done, and we're going to prioritize from the smallest, cheapest stuff up to the largest stuff, because that's just kind of how we have to work. So a lot of the small stuff are just things that are stupid things that we never finished. And then a number of the bigger things are big time dream projects, like that guy right there, the ugly shed. But there's one main thing that we do need to start in on, and I'm going to take you up front to show you that. So here is project number one, our garage. As you can see, we have two different garage doors, and that is not exactly what we had thought we were getting when we bought the house. What, now 3 years ago? Originally in the listing, we had these carriage doors on the front, and we absolutely loved them, and we had planned on stripping them down, repainting them, and keeping them, and then turning them, instead of flipping up, into actual carriage doors. After we bought the house, well, before we finished closing on the house, at some point she had the garage door replaced, and we didn't even notice. We were so oblivious because we were so tied up in the mortgage and dealing with the banks and stuff that this went unnoticed, and I would have had her put in both brand new doors or kept the carriage doors. It is what it is at this point, but we have a plan, and the first part of it is we need to finish refacing the front of the garage to match the side of the garage that I've already started. So the side and the very back are done. They're done in a board and batten style siding, and I've done that out of wood, pressure treated wood and such, because it was easier and more affordable for us at the time, because we are dealing with a weird cinder block type of wall. So in that process, I have found a lovely DIY on Instagram from a follower I will have to link here for you, where she took and covered up her garage doors with PVC panels and basically made them look completely different. So how does that come into what my plan is here? Well, we're going to keep the carriage door. We're actually going to turn it back into a proper carriage door because we have no man door on this garage, and it's kind of a pain having to flip this guy up or get the remote and get this one to go up. So we're going to make them look the same with the same finish with the PVC, and we're going to make this basically just overlap and it'll open, but they'll be the same height because I'll run, some faux boards on the top and all that fun stuff. This is also going to get a new window up top and then the same board and batten style and a fresh coat of paint. So let me show you what. So this is the side of the garage that is complete. We've done the board and batten style. We've done black windows over here. And then I did do this copper color gutter and I don't like it. So we're gonna figure that one out. Sorry for the wind if you can hear that. I'm really trying to keep it away from you, but this is what we're going with. It's a very dark gray Pepper Shaker by Sherwin-Williams, and it's in their vinyl safe color because our house is done in vinyl siding. So when we go to paint that, there's no color problem. So this one's a real quickie. We're painting the entire house. It's this minty green color. We're not in love, and it's got this beige accents. We've gotten brand new windows. It was going to be about $4,000 more to have our windows black. So I opted for white, and then we're going to just DIY them and using black universal spray paint that is used for PVC and such like that. So I know that might sound like cheaping out and like really, I don't know, chintzy, but so many DIYers do this that I don't have any concerns about it. We don't open our windows a lot either, so they're not going to go through a lot of wear and tear and rub that paint off, and if it does, it's just a quick spray of paint and we're done. The rest of the house will be done in Pepper Shaker by Sherwin-Williams, and then we also need to get in our glass block windows. Now you might be thinking, why are we talking about so much of your structure of your home and this is a gardening channel? Well, because this is part of the garden. This is your backdrop. I've talked about this before, that if something doesn't work right, you gotta fix it. And well, the backdrop of my garden is my home and my garage and my shed and all that other stuff. And these are things that beautify our garden and bring it together. So that's why I'm bringing this to your attention, because these are the things that we're going to start changing this year. But let me talk about a couple more things. We've got a long list this year. So as you can see, this is our front porch. Well, when we enclosed the front porch, we ended up putting up this temporary plywood. Well, that was 2 seasons ago, and the temporary is still there. I've been conflicted whether or not to run brick facing up all the way and up over the door here, and I've just decided to probably go with siding. It's easier fix. I don't have to do backer board, and I don't have to do all the bricks, even though I saved all these bricks to do this, and then I can still actually take more because we have it in our house somewhere. We'll get into that a whole nother day. But it's still up in the air, but this area needs to be done. The front door will then be painted black to go against the gray. The lights will stay because those are brand new. I wanted those. And then the other thing is our front porch here. When we built it, it looked good, but something's been off about it for a while, and I know what it is. I don't like that the front porch comes in like this, because then it blocks off the view of anything that I do up on the porch. And what's the point of having a really welcoming porch if you can't see what you plant up here or decorate with? So we're going to take the arms back off of here, the railings, and we're going to expand the staircase, the steps here out wider, and we're going to have it come straight up to those posts. Can you see where I'm pointing? The outside post there, and it'll be a wide open front porch. That's also going to lead us to possibly having to redo our pathway here that came with the house. We've been kind of talking about it a little bit here and there, because at the very end it collects water and it becomes a mud puddle, and then you lose bricks at the end because it's below our driveway, which is a whole nother story and a whole nother year that we have to deal with it. So this year it's going to be maintenance and try to make it look pretty, but we'll get to that later. So in that time, we're going to have to figure out this whole front porch area, but I got to really figure out what to do with my front door because it looks a little tacky. And this temporary solution stayed too long. So what did I tell you? We really did leave stuff up this year and left a number of things out. I started laying out this path, trying to figure out how wide I wanted the bricks to be and where I wanted the gravel to be. And I just kind of gave up because we were not ready to tackle the project. So now that I'm back out here, we need to figure that out as well. But I left out a number of things and we'll have to get those figured out and put away at some. But this area is going to lead you into the memorial garden and around and down to the next big project, which I'm hoping will happen this year. So keep your fingers crossed. Let's talk about that. Well, this eyesore is my shed. And we really want, well, I really want, and Rob's pushing, for me to get a greenhouse instead. So there's two options here. I have a number of windows already hidden inside this shed to make a lean-to style greenhouse. That would be the highest side facing out, where the sun you see is on the shed, and then slope to the back. The entrance would be here on the side coming out to the memorial garden. There'd be a path right here as well, replicating the one that's over there. Or the other option is we keep everything structurally here, we keep the shed, take the top of the roof, take the roof off, the joists and all that, and turn them to where the peak is on this side, and then attach a greenhouse off to it, a regular greenhouse, and maybe paint the shed black and have just a normal size greenhouse up on a wall or such. That was a new concept to me after talking to a friend, Jessica, and seeing hers, and it would be a quicker way of doing it, but I'm not quite sure, because if I do the lean-to style, it'll essentially be like a winter hut for me to go out and put all my plants in, which I could do with the regular greenhouse, but it'd still be like a stylish outhouse. So we're gonna think about that one. But we do need to get those plans in the books now with, income tax time coming up. That's what I want to spend our money on, is putting a greenhouse in. Everything else I can do out of pocket. The other thing that I want to get accomplished this year is actually matching the retaining wall over here that we first did to the pony wall that I did over here just for character. We used these onyx colored paving stones as the topper. They were a affordable solution that cost me like $7 to do versus like $100 to do that wall for the topper from the local stone yard. I picked these pavers up at my local Menards for 98 cents a piece. So $8 to do that, plus tax. So we need to measure out this area again and find out how many we need so that we can match those, and then this will be done. This should be a relatively quick project. And then I also need to still go back through, fix a few stones and get them reattached, and then go through and mortar them in, because that's one thing I didn't do. This was a first time project and I'm proud with how well it's done, but needs fixed, needs done correctly, needs finished correctly, and then just dressed up and it'll look good. We're also thinking about possibly expanding the patio back just a little bit and creating a little bit more of a seating area here. And the chimney, I just noticed the bottom broke out. So it's what we get for not cleaning and protecting our stuff at the end of the year. So new fire pit's going to be needed for this area, but hey, that's later on in the season. We'll worry about it then. Well, as you can see, we had a tree back here probably the last time we did any videos, which was probably our edge right video, and that tree fell and took out that fence panel right there. Yeah, I got real lucky. Didn't take out that building next door. Would have been an insurance issue. But as you can see, I can see everything in that business, and it's not very private. So what we're thinking is finishing the fencing off. I wasn't for it in the beginning because we planted out very young. They're about a foot tall last year when I put them in, and I expect them to grow quite a bit this year. The emerald green giant whips, and they did establish really, really well, and they've grown actually tremendously. I mean, you can actually see the growth on them. And I figured, oh, in a few years they'll be fully, blocking out that, and it'll be nice green hedge, and I don't have to waste the money, which is roughly about $850, $875 for the rest of this fence, because we're going to be going with 12-foot posts to bring those fence panels up. And then you got to factor in all the stain to do that. Well, I think it's something we're going to do. I kind of want some instant privacy, because I don't really want the neighbors looking in, and it provides access for somebody just to jump off the wall and come in. And we actually had an incident of somebody coming through our other fence on the other side, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this side of the garage, we are hiding a bunch of stuff. This is like our, what is this, trailer, and then we have some windows that a friend dropped off, which I'm probably going to give back up to somebody else to use because I don't have a use for them. And then we have our stone yard back here for other projects. But do you notice you can see those trees and the fence panels are missing? Yeah, well, somebody decided to come through our fence and try to get into our shed a couple nights back, and luckily we got them on video. But they couldn't get anything because they got scared of our lights, which is good. But we also have cameras on them, so they would have been caught anyway if they were to take anything, but they didn't. So it is what it is, but we got to get that repaired, and that's another reason why we want to finish off our fence, because in the end, I don't want people in my yard that aren't allowed in my yard. But other than that, we have a ton of planting to do, and that's the last thing I want to show you because I've already started sowing seeds. So do you see this? Let me show you more. Yeah, all of this got a little crazy. So you see this? This is all winter sowing. This is what happens when I get bored in January, when I've done my room renovation that I choose to do that year, and we end up starting a number of our seeds. This is all going to be left out here through the rest of the winter to germinate when it's ready. This is the first time I'm doing open containers such as pots like this. Generally I do milk jugs, and this year I didn't save any, and I listened to a wonderful podcast, and the lady from that was talking about how she just does them in open containers, and any fine seeds she just puts on a coarse sand to keep them in place so that they can germinate with light, and the other ones are covered up just normally with potting soil. Everything is labeled, everything I know where it is, and from there we'll just wait. I'm nowhere near done though, so this is probably a third of what I'm starting this year because I want to save a ton of money. Right now I only have about $350 wrapped up in seeds and potting soil and used containers. Everything I have here is stuff that I've just saved from plants I've bought in the past or received. So $350 for a whole year. I mean, granted, don't get me wrong, I will be buying some plants this year for sure. I mean, it's inevitable, but the main thing is I've cut a lot of my expense to fill this garden with just stuff from seed, and if I don't like it, I don't have very much into it, and I can put in something more that I like as it comes by or as my budget is good. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know it's a little different than seeing regular garden content, but this is, again, stuff that really puts the backdrop to your garden. There's going to be plenty of garden content this year. I'm going to try to do videos as much as I can. YouTube is kind of a thing that I put on the back burner because this type of videoing takes a lot of work to come up with and make sure that you're having a good time with it, because if you're not having a good time, you don't want to do it, clearly. But we'll try to make sure that we track a lot of the progress through this year and talk about a number of things. I'm not going to be trying to be a teacher. That's not my strong suit. I don't know everything. I'm just going to tell you kind of the things that I know as I go along, and we're just going to have fun this year. That's what it's all about for me. This year it's fun. Everybody's picking a word for 2023, and mine is just going to be fun, because I get hung up on designs, I get hung up on everything being picture perfect, and it's just not how it's going to be. It's going to be fun this year. So we're going to try out a bunch of stuff, we're going to do a bunch of stuff, and just see how far we get in this garden. So I hope you will be sticking around. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and drop a comment down below. What are you most excited to see this year that I pointed out? And are you doing any big DIYs this year, or any small DIYs? I want to hear all about it. So we will catch you in the next video. Bye.